How we doing? How we doing? This is Destination Denver, Colorado, and today I've got one a little near and dear to my heart. Moving to Lakewood, Colorado, why I live here, why I think you should too, and we're starting right now. All right, this is Destination Denver, Colorado. I'm your host, Jimmy Everett, and listen, if you're interested in learning all the ins and outs, pros and cons of moving to or around Denver, Colorado, then this is a channel for you. So that subscribe button and notification icon popping up on your screen, make sure you click on that as I'm dropping new videos for you each and every week. And listen, as much as I love trying to be a little creative here on camera, I'm also a licensed mortgage broker covering the entire state of Colorado, and I'm teamed with some of Denver's most talented realtors. So the number and email popping up on your screen, I'm always the person answering your phone calls, answering your texts, answering your emails, there when and if you need me. Now that we have that fun-filled stuff out of the way, let's get to what we're here for, and that is moving to Lakewood, Colorado, why I live here, why it's such a great place to live, and why you should make it your next moving destination. All right, so obviously I have to have a disclaimer for this video that I'm a homer. I was born and raised in Lakewood, left for the military, 8 years there, 4 years in broadcast journalism, and then lo and behold, ended up back in Lakewood, Colorado. Colorado was planned, Lakewood not, but here I am and I stand by it. So first and foremost, Lakewood started to be formed in the 50s, mainly in the 60s, and really started gaining its legs and traction in the 70s. So Lakewood is Colorado's fifth largest city. And before we get all big on ourselves, we're fifth, Colorado is basically Denver, Colorado Springs, then Aurora, and a bunch of small-ish towns. So Lakewood's population sits at about 155,000. Not small by any means, but not massive. We're not the Bronx versus Manhattan here. And Lakewood has been on a hot streak as far as being a desired suburb for people to live in. Currently, owners make up 59% of our population here in Denver, homeowners that is, and renters, obviously the remaining 41%. And we've seen areas that we're going to discuss here today like Belmar, Green Mountain, and Solterra absolutely explode with growth. So what is Lakewood like? Well, point number two, Lakewood gets older the closer you get to Denver, and it gets older, obviously, the farther away you get or the closer to the Front Range Mountains as you get. So Lakewood, obviously, to our east, borders with Denver. We're right there next to the city. And then on our western side, we're hitting towns like Golden and Morrison that lead us right into the Rocky Mountains. So the homes closest to the cities, again, some of them started being built in the 50s, 60s. So the closer you get to Denver, the older these homes are going to be. The more you're going to see older structures. Does that mean these houses are falling apart? Not necessarily. It just means that if you, in your mind, you are looking for newer built homes, odds are you're going to have to work your way west. And this is one of those times where I have to knock Lakewood for a change, and that is the fact that you're not going to see a ton of new construction in Lakewood. And there's a couple reasons for that. One, even though Lakewood is geographically a very large place, there's only so much space that you have when you're building. And Lakewood has a funky law, a funky rule in place that only 1% of the current number of homes in place can then be built the next year. So for just simple rough math, let's say there were 100 homes. That means you could only build one home the following year. It's one of the sillier rules I've ever heard of. It's something that I think people voted for and didn't quite understand. I wouldn't be amazed if that rule went away in the future, but for right now it is. Construction in Lakewood is limited for that reason. And one of the quick other knocks on Lakewood that some people are going to care about, but honestly I wouldn't have realized as a kid, is that Lakewood is not a master plan development. What I mean by master plan is when a lot of communities build today, they start thinking about the convenience of the citizens that are going to live in that area. They start thinking about where stores and shops are, restaurants that they're going to build around it. They want you to have the ability to stay in your community as much as possible. They think about rec centers and pools and play centers for the kids. Now, it's not like Lakewood doesn't have that. It's not like Lakewood was like, just live here and we'll figure out grocery stores later. But it's not exactly planned from a convenience standpoint. So you might have to drive over here for your grocery stores, and then drive over here for your rec center, and then drive over here for your liquor stores because you're done driving and it's time to go home and just have a beverage. Don't drink and drive. But again, if it's that super convenience factor you're looking for, Lakewood might not be the spot for you. But honestly, I have yet to have a friend, client, parent, grandparent complain about it. It's just one of those things that the books say should bother people. But forget about that stuff. Let's talk about what makes Lakewood freaking awesome. And that's point number 3. Lakewood is home to 100 parks, or technically 99 if you want to be a jerk about it. Among the most popular, William Hayden Park, aka Green Mountain, 11,000 acres of bike trails, hiking trails, acreage to go visit, water, altitude, everything you need. And Green Mountain is just an awesome viewpoint. I like jumping on my mountain bike, or if I just want to go for a quick trail run, runs you through some of the great neighborhoods up there. And it has one of the best views you'll see when you get to the top of Green Mountain. You can see everything. You can see the Rocky Mountains, you can see downtown Denver, you can see DIA, you can see Red Rocks Amphitheater. It's just phenomenal. You have Bear Creek Lake Park, which is a little farther west for us. But that has a couple great swim holes, some great hikes, again, some great trails. And for you golfers, there's 2 great golf courses out there, Fox Hollow and Homestead. I've played at Fox Hollow. I'm a terrible golfer. Homestead, I still have to get out there, so I can't tell you much about it from a playing standpoint, but I can tell you my friends enjoy playing it all the time. And again, I said I was a homer, so Heritage Lakewood Belmar Park, which is my neighborhood, my neck of the woods. I mean, it's just cool. It's just a great area. They have the Heritage Center with an amphitheater and like this small little town that you walk through. They have a lot of events there. They have Christmas lights in the holidays. We're almost there, so we'll have holiday lights here pretty soon. During the summer, it's just gorgeous. They have a cider festival. All sorts of people come out. They have an Italian festival. There's a couple lakes. What I like about it is that the lake has good size, but it's not massive. It's about 2.5 to 3 miles if I take it all the way around to get back to the house. So I can take my pups out, I can go for a walk. They're not allowed to jump in the lake, which actually does me a favor because one of my dogs would just get filthy there every time if I could let it. But a couple great lakes, allows us to get out, get some fresh air right in the neighborhood. One of my absolute favorite parks. So point number 4 with Lakewood is that it's a large suburb, and as I mentioned earlier, we border Denver on one side and we border the Front Range on the other. What that means to you, what that means to people who live here, is that Lakewood really caters to a lot of different styles of living. If you're a big city person, if you want to be close to Denver so you can get down there for concerts and museums and the botanical gardens and sporting events, then Lakewood can put you within, 5-10 minutes of downtown, 15 minutes on the long end. If you're a mountain person, well, we have the mountains right there. So from where I am, I'm kind of in the middle of Lakewood. Like I said, I'm in the Belmar area, if you Google it. So for me, I can get downtown in 15 to 20 minutes, and I can get to the mountains in 15 to 20 minutes. I have a great balance when it comes to that. And that's pretty much how Lakewood rolls. It really allows people to have a variety of lifestyles, and it caters to however you enjoy living. The 5th key factor for Lakewood is our schools. So Lakewood is covered by Jefferson County school districts, rated very high by niche.com, gradeschools.com, and most school rating programs that I checked out, either B+ up to an A. On top of that, Lakewood is also home to Colorado Christian University, which is ranked the number 8 university in all of Colorado, and Red Rocks Community College, which is ranked near the top for Colorado colleges, and a great place for a lot of students to get started after high school. Number 6, jobs. So Lakewood is filled with employment opportunities. Jeffco Schools has a ton of jobs in the area. The Federal Center is the biggest employer, the Federal Center government agency over off of Kipling and 6th Avenue is the biggest employer in Lakewood. And then you also have St. Anthony's Hospital, major community up on Union, not too far from where I grew up. So Lakewood has its own center of jobs. It's also home to Einstein Bagels headquarters, just in case you needed that fun fact. Who doesn't like some Einstein Bagels and some coffee? And then obviously being in Lakewood, like I said, you're very close to Denver, so the ability to get down to Denver for jobs there, pretty common, but jobs, a key factor here in Lakewood. And with jobs, I would say number 7, our factor is that commuting is pretty easy in Lakewood. So one, we've got a light rail that runs up 6th Avenue. 6th Avenue is our major freeway that leads right out of downtown. So if you leave Denver on 6th Avenue, it's gonna run right through the heart of Lakewood. But commuting around Lakewood is pretty easy. We have 3 major north and south roads: Kipling, Wadsworth, Sheridan. We have 2 major east to west, or west to east, however you want to handle that, 6th Avenue and 285, aka Hamden. So it's pretty easy to get around. Another nice thing about being in Lakewood and being in this part of town is that you can see the mountains from pretty much everywhere. So it's pretty easy to figure out which way is west, which then allows you to figure out every other direction. I'm the type of person, I have never directed people based on like west, south. I say take a left. But if somebody happens to tell you, hey, go north on this road, and you're in Lakewood, you can see the mountains and you'll be able to figure it out. So we have that going for us. One kind of negative about Lakewood, I would say, is that Lakewood does not have a downtown. So I mentioned I live in Belmar. Belmar has a great shopping area, a great like outdoor walkable spot with coffee shops and restaurants. It's got an ice skating rink in the winter time, and it's just a great community feel to go and hang out in. But Belmar is not downtown Lakewood. We don't have that strip of road that just people gather in, or that is the hub of Lakewood. That is one thing that is missing in the community. And when I think about other towns nearby, Inglewood, Littleton, Arvada, Wheat Ridge, all of them have kind of this one road main hub that everything circles around. Lakewood does not have that. Is that a factor I would determine where I wanted to live on? Probably not, but it's just a factor I thought I would throw in the video. And last but not least, it really doesn't have anything to do with Lakewood, I have to admit. But we always have to talk about the fact that we are close as can be to Red Rocks Amphitheater. And when you're talking about the #1 or routinely #1 rated amphitheater in the world, you have to mention the fact that I can be there in 15 minutes. If you live in Lakewood, you can be there in 10 to 20 to maybe 25 minutes tops. One of the best music venues ever. And if you do get to Red Rocks, make sure you shoot down to Morrison, the town that Red Rocks is in, and have a beer at the Holiday Bar, because that's where we went after my wedding. Random fun fact for you. Anyway, there are countless reasons to enjoy living in Lakewood. That's just 9 that I thought of today, but we can discuss all sorts of them. And that number and email popping up on your screen, that's a perfect excuse to give me a call or shoot me an email. You know I'm the person answering your phone calls, answering your texts, answering those emails. This is Destination Denver, Colorado. I'm your host, Jimmy Everts. This has been Moving to Lakewood, Colorado, why I love it, and why you probably will too. And until I see you next time, there goes my dog barking like a maniac because it's Halloween. Peace.